Customers you can't please. Oh yes, we all have some of those. Let's talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question and I get to help you find an answer. Now today's show is brought to us by housecleaning360.com, and the great news is spring and summer is here. So as we go outside and we have plants and yards and our gardens, we need an irrigation system that we can count on. Because as that sun blasts the summer heat on us, we want to make sure that we are able to water our plants and our yards accordingly. Now, if your sprinkler is not working and you need some irrigation help, you can find some help on housecleaning360.com. There are a bunch of landscapers and people who do sprinkling and irrigation repair on housecleaning360.com. They'll come out to your house and they'll fix whatever your problem is. Okay, on to today's show, which is from a house cleaner who has customers she can't please. Here's what she has to say.
Hi, Angela. My question today is when you go to clean for a client and you do the very best that you can and you feel good about the job that you have done, but the client comes back in and starts nitpicking and claiming that certain things don't look like they got cleaned, etc., and they are just so unhappy, even though the house looks wonderful. What do? Do you knock off some of the cost of the cleaning price, or do you stick with the price that you have estimated for that job?
Alrighty, so that's a very interesting question, and it comes down to a couple of different things. Do you give their money back? First and foremost, the answer is no. If you have a satisfaction guarantee, that's going to require that you either come back and clean the things that the customer is not satisfied with, or it means that you give all their money back. Now, my suggestion is that you give all their money back. And in our company, I prefer to give all their money back for a couple of reasons. If I'm just coming back to re-clean, that's easier. That kind of lets my people off the hook. It's no big deal. We don't have to clean so great. If a customer calls and they catch something we missed, we'll just come back and re-clean it. It's no big deal. But if the customer knows that we are going to give all their money back, there's a little bit of guilt in there as well. Well, you did a pretty good job. No. If you're not satisfied with the work that we do, because our reputation is based on it, we want to give all of your money back. And the customer will say, well, no, let me pay you something. No. We work for our reputations and we work for money to pay our families. If our work does not meet your standards, I want you to have your money back. So what happens is this: it forces our people to be diligent in the work that they do. And it forces our customers to show up and say, okay, so this was a human error. I don't want to call them and make them feel bad. I do want to bring something up, but I want this to be remedied. Now, back to your original question about customers you can't please. Okay, so right up front, there are a bunch of customers you can't please no matter what. They can't please themselves. And so their lives are made of misery. And if you find a customer like this, or you stumble upon one, or if by chance you end up with one, cut them loose as soon as possible, because they will just spin their wheels, making your life miserable and wreaking havoc. The customers that we have that we can't please no matter what we do, it doesn't matter what you do, you cannot please them. So call it a day. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just know that there are some people like that. There are some people in your lives that you don't clean for, and they're like that as well. So we just know people like that. All right, now the next thing that I want to talk about is I want to talk about how you're setting up your business with your customer. So when you come to your customer's house, you got to have a worksheet. And I talk a lot about the worksheet, not because I want to sell you a copy of my free worksheet, because it's free. You can download it free and you can edit it and use it. And I want you to, because it does so many things in your business. Here's what it does. When you get to the customer's house and you're doing the initial walkthrough with the customer, I give my customer a worksheet and I have a worksheet. As we walk through the house together, they can see the tasks and the chores that my company does. And you can say, is there anything on this list in this room that is not important to you? And they can say, well, you know what? The blinds are not a priority to me. And I can cross through the blinds. Because if time is of the essence, which it is in the house cleaning business, if I have to make a choice on a particular day, hey, we're running really short on time because I had to spend more time elsewhere, I may not do the blinds that day because the customer already told me that is not their priority. But if you don't have that conversation with the customer and you skip the blinds and then you go home and you say the house looks lovely, and the customer comes in and they run their hands over the blinds and they're like, oh my goodness, there's dust. Well, then you owe them something, either a reclean or their money back, whatever your satisfaction guarantee says. Now, the reason I bring this up is this. What you've checked off on your checklist is what activates your satisfaction guarantee. So what you're saying is, I got to your house today, there was a bunch of stuff strewn all around. I cleaned up all the stuff and I did all the tasks that I was requested to do. Today we did not get to your blinds. And so we will throw that into next week's rotation. That's what you're saying. We did not do your blinds today because we ran out of time, whatever. Then when the customer comes home and they see the dust on the blinds, they're like, maybe I should pick up after myself so that I don't leave so much work for the house cleaner because they didn't get to the blinds today. So it's two people working together. Never do you just come in and you're the house cleaner and you're the only one that does the work. You and the homeowner are a team. Okay, if I'm your house cleaner and I come to your house and I clean your house, I did my job. And now when I leave, you have to do your job. You have to wash the dishes every night. You have to wipe down the counters in the bathroom when I'm not here. There are things that you have to pick up after yourself when I'm not here. You have your own chores. And so you can't just leave the stuff for the house cleaner because there's no way the house cleaner is going to get through it. Now, I know house cleaning companies that are like, we do everything at your house every time we come. And I think, wow, that's ludicrous because not everything needs to be done every single time, nor do we have time to do everything every single time because different levels of messiness happen at different times based on what's going on in the person's life. So when I get to your house and I have my check sheet is what determines what I get done that day based on your priorities. So if a customer is never easy to please because they're nitpicking things, here's my guess of what happened. You did not clarify what you were doing when you came to their house. And you had a series of priorities that you did, and you walked away and said, yeah, the house looks great. And then the customer came home and they had a different set of priorities. And they looked at the house and they're like, holy cow, I spent all this money and a house cleaner came to my house and I can't tell what they did. It's not that you didn't do a great job. It's that you did a different set of priorities than the customer's set of priorities. Does that make sense? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your priorities and the customer's priorities are in alignment and that this is marked off on your check sheet. Because if I hire somebody 2 weeks from now, they've got to have this check sheet that says these are the priorities. In the event that you get in a pinch and you have to make a decision that we are not going to be able to do something today at this particular customer's house, you are able to skip the blinds today only. And at a different customer's house, it might be something else. And so if you skip the blinds at every customer's house, you're screwed. Because to some people, that's really important. They open the blinds every day when they have their morning coffee, and if there's dust on them, you don't get paid. So my suggestion to you is, do you really have a customer that's really difficult to please? Or is it that you haven't clarified what is important to the customer? Because if you have a customer that's impossible to please, it's impossible to work for them. Say goodbye and move along and go find some nice customers. There are gobs of people out there that need house cleaning. And there's a multitude of really nice, easy to work with people. So don't punish yourself working for the miserable ones that make your life miserable. Just don't do that. Just move on and let somebody else clean their house. All right, that's my 2 cents for today. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.